In with our meteorologist Cedric Haynes. He's in our storm alert weather center. And Cedric, they better have them umbrellas, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the umbrellas will be needed over the next 24 to 48 hours. You can see the clouds, the fog, the mist. That's just the beginning. Let's talk about our forecast here. The next big thing that we're focused on, yes, that heavy rain threat. And as you saw there, the potential of some flooding. And that's going to be a concern for not only because we're going to be seeing a lot of rainfall in a short period of time, but because of the other conditions that we have in place right now, which is just makes things very favorable. So focus on that potential of some heavy rain. Let's get you started off with the flood watches that we do have in effect pretty much for the entire Tennessee Valley, and these go into effect this afternoon. They expire either Thursday evening or Friday morning, but you get the idea. The potential of flooding here with all this heavy rain moving our way over the next couple of hours, and you get that excessive rainfall in that short period of time, you have that potential of flooding, and there are a couple of different ways we can see flooding, and so we're going to kind of break that down for you as we go throughout the next couple of minutes. But let's talk about why we have a storm alert weather day for today and for your Thursday. Again, we've got the heavy rain, maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder, and we're going to see multiple rounds of heavy rainfall here, both today and then also as we go into your Thursday. That could easily lead to some ponding on the roadways, just the heavy rain itself. But then we've got this flood watch because as you add up all those multiple waves of rain, 2 to 4 inches fairly likely across most of the area, but that's going to fall on a frozen solid ground, and it's hard for the ground to absorb that much moisture when it's frozen solid. So basically you get the big runoff, and the runoff leads to more flooding. And then we've also got to account for a lot of ice and snow melt for those folks that still have a lot of that snow and ice around. That's one of the reasons why we're seeing the actual foggy conditions out there now, is that warm air is riding up and that snow is melting, and that tends to create the fog and the mist. So right now you got clouds, fog, and mist across the area, but you can see the more widespread rain beginning to line up to our west and southwest. There's a lot more where that is from Nashville back down towards Memphis and Mississippi and Louisiana, and you'll notice that it's kind of a narrow band, but it's also not moving very much, and that's going to be the concern of why you could get that flooding, as that heavy rain just kind of trains over the same areas. So you can even look down here towards Jackson, Mississippi, over towards New Orleans, and notice we've even got some thunderstorms with that heavy rain. So this is going to be a kind of an active system with a lot of moisture that's going to slowly creep our way in the coming days. So we're going to see here, you can look at the clouds and see these stretch all the way back through Mexico and down into the Pacific Ocean. So a complete moisture train that's set up across the area. And once we even get past this system, we'll have another one to have to deal with for the weekend. So let's talk about the potential of excessive rainfall, which could lead to flooding, a pretty elevated risk just off to our west and southwest as we get throughout this afternoon, but that starts to creep our way this evening and tonight. And then as we go into your Thursday, that's going to be our primary day where I think we'll be concerned here in the Tennessee Valley for elevated risk of some flooding. Now, it's not going to flood everywhere in every community, but just know in some localized areas there will likely be some flash flooding. Let's time out these heavy rain bands as they try to move our way in the coming days. Again, right now, not too bad with that fog and mist out there across the area, but notice as we get towards 4 or 5 o'clock, we start to see that heavier rain creeping in for the western half of the area. So just in time for the afternoon commute, especially from Chattanooga and points west, that rain will really start to ramp up. And then as we go throughout the evening and overnight hours, we'll continue to see that heavy rain slowly shifting to the east. And there's going to be a period where that rain is going to come down hard and fast, and that's going to lead to, again, some pretty decent accumulations of rainfall out there. As we go into your Thursday morning, it may become a little more scattered again, but as we go into your Thursday afternoon, we'll start to see more moisture moving in from the south, and that means the potential of more heavy rainfall that could set up here across the region as we go to your Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. So again, a kind of a long duration event. That first wave coming through for tonight into tomorrow morning could add about 1 inch to 2 inches, especially west and northwest of the city. And then by that second wave, we're talking 1 to 3 inches on average across the area. So there's going to be two types of flooding that we've got to watch out for. The flash flooding, when that rain comes down hard and fast in a short period of time, doesn't have anywhere to go. So you get that flooding that we call happens in a flash, basically. The second one is after the rain stops, as we get past the weekend, then all that runoff goes in the creeks and streams, and those levels begin to rise. So there's a little bit of a delay there, but the overall theme is the potential of some flash flooding out there. Here's your Storm Alert 7-day forecast, Storm Alert weather day for today and tomorrow. That rain really ramps up later today, tonight, and throughout the day on Thursday. But look at highs on Thursday in the mid to upper 60s. We may see the rain taper off briefly, Xavier, for Friday, but then there you go, another round just in time to kick off the weekend.